Law 27. Play on people's need to believe, to create a cult-like following. And again, part of this book is understanding the laws and then seeing how people use them on you, seeing how in real time the world is being affected by these principles. Because honestly, like, I don't personally like being a leader. Like, I kind of just like to be on myself. I like to be a lone wolf. I like to just, when I want to, I'll put on the camera and I'll speak, and then I'll try to improve people's lives. But there's other people that aren't so benevolent. There's other people that will actively try to influence you in a certain way to get something out of you. And it is simply human nature to believe. It is easier for us to exist as part of a group than it is to as an individual. And this is something that, Freud talked about a lot, Jung talked about a lot. Like, people basically accept archetypes. Like, think of the guy that watches sports. Like, part of his personality is that he watches sports. Oh, you watch sports. I sports gamble. I play fantasy football. I do this. I do that. It's the same thing with video games. You're a person that plays video games. It's the same thing with politics. You're a Democrat. You're a Republican. You have these beliefs because you belong to this group. And actively, I feel like we've never been more divisive because people are part of groups. People are of the mindset that it's this group versus that group, and instead it's just like, no, dude, we're all people just trying to do good for ourselves. But you see it, like, we're in an election year and we're in an election cycle, and the presidential debates just happened, and it's bickering on both sides. People from CNN are saying, oh my God, Trump is under indictment, he has this amount of charges, like, we need to ensure that democracy is safe. And then the other people are like, it's a sham trial, like, Joe Biden, he's not even conscious right now. That like it's not us versus them. Like, we're getting two candidates that don't want the best for the people. Like, I truly believe that neither candidate is the best person for the job, yet we're so co-opted, we're so into these groups that we don't put the best people forward. Like, the best person that we could put forward would be somebody that's going to do business with both sides, because the best argument, like, whenever there's two sides arguing, the true answer is always somewhere in the middle. It's never on the extremes. It's never like completely right or completely left. There's always some compromise. There's always some, solution that we can come to that benefits both parties most. But we never agree to these things because we get too much into the emotions. We get too much into the partisans. We get too much into this side or that side. I'm this part of this group, so I have to vote for this group. And this is something we need to be aware of, because I feel like the media has done such a great job of putting people into groups, of monetizing people's attention and getting them to follow them, because they almost have this aroma that, like, my side is right, this belief is right. And we need to understand this fact, because this law in real time is dividing families. Like, you can't go to the dinner table at Thanksgiving without getting into an argument, because people have been co-opted, because people's belief systems have been hijacked, because they want to belong to something. They want some sort of identity. They want to be part of a group, so they have joined with this cult. They've joined with this religion. Like, what is politics? Politics is basically a religion. Like, you're praying for somebody to cut your taxes, or you're praying for somebody to improve your quality of life. Like, in essence, politics has replaced religion in this country, and it's so frustrating that we can't exist as individuals. We can't exist as our own people. We can't think for ourselves. We can't vote for policies just based off of, this person has this policy, this person has this policy. But I'm a Republican. I'm a Democrat. Like, we need to start thinking more like this, and we need to be more aware of the tendency of human nature to want to fit into a group, to enjoy that us versus them mindset, because it makes it easier for us to conceptualize our current situation. Instead of saying, I'm where I am because I go out on the weekends. I'm where I am because, I didn't get good grades in school. I'm where I am because I haven't done the work to start a business and do this and this and this. Like, it's so much easier to say, oh, the Democrats, they keep the taxes so high, so I'm not able to get ahead. Like, the real issue is never the external. The real issue is always the internal. And I want you to understand this law, and I want you to grasp this law, because there are people out there that are willing to take advantage of human nature, and there are people out there that are willing to hijack your belief system and put you into a group that does nothing except enrich them. Like, cults have a bad reputation because the cult leader is always making millions while the people around him are just suffering. Like, it's never a good thing to be part of a group that doesn't bring you up, that doesn't uplift you, that doesn't get you just to live a better life. Like, it's frustrating that we accept these things, and it's frustrating that this is what the modern day political system has evolved to, that people are one policy voters. I don't know why I just had a stroke or something, but yeah, hopefully you can start to recognize this fact. Hopefully this is something that resonates with you, and it gets you to think more critically about who you are, the groups that you belong to, the identities that you hold, and understand that if somebody's not leading you to yourself, if somebody is not instructing you on how to discover who you really are, that's not a leader. That's a pseudo leader. That's somebody that you should abandon, because you are reliant on them for your identity. You are reliant on them for who you are, and you should never rely on anyone else for any sort of identity. If you don't learn anything else from me, learn that sentence. But I'll leave a link to this book in the description. It's a tremendous book. I love to analyze it from different perspectives. I love to just look at it objectively and go back through and share my thoughts with you guys. So if you want to pick up this book, I think it's a great read. I think it's very interesting if you like history, and on top of that, it's really fun to break these down, so I'm going to keep doing this. So if you want to stick around on the channel for that, if you want to see the other books I review and go through, subscribe if you're new to the channel, like the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.